Okay, so now we're not going to be centered at the origin anymore. So the standard form of the equation of an ellipse centered someplace else. So your pancake shape, that's going to be x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Notice that it still equals 1. And the h always goes with x and the k always goes with y. But this time, the a squared, the larger, a is larger than b, is under the x. So that's why you get the pancake shape. So remember, this is the case where a is greater than b, okay? And it's as if we used to have, the origin here, and then we've done a transformation. We just picked up, instead of having the origin there, or the center there at the origin, now we have the center here at this point h, comma, k. All right? So we still have the major axis going this way. We still will have the foci in here. I'll always do the foci in green. Your vertices would be right here and here. Those would be the vertices. And then you'd have the minor axis going right here. And the co-vertices would be here and here. Now, based on that, we're going to give you some information then. So the major axis, the length of it still equals 2a. The minor axis still equals, the length of it is still 2b, okay? The center, and that's important, is h, comma, k. So sometimes they can give you an equation and they'll want to know what the center is, or maybe they're going to ask us to graph it. Okay, so how do we find the vertices? Well, the vertices, what we're going to have to do is we're moving our whole ellipse in this direction, right? That represents the h. So then from the center, we're going a, that distance is a. I should have drawn it better. That distance is a, and that distance is a. So the vertices are going to be at h plus or minus a. One's going to go to the right, the other's going to go to the left, comma, and then how high up is this? Well, that's k. We shifted it from 0, and it's going to be this distance here is going to be k. All right, the co-vertices are going to be at, we're going to go a distance of h, so h, and then it's going to be k plus or minus b. And then I didn't do the foci. Okay, so the foci, those will come, here in green. They're going to be on the major axis. So it's going to be the h plus or minus c, comma, k. And remember that c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Okay. Something to point out is that major axis is horizontal. So sometimes it helps to think about that when we're deciding it's a pancake or an egg shape. So here's the egg shape, and the same thing is happening. We used to be centered at the origin, and now we're having a new center here at HK. So that's going to be our center. And then we're going to have the major axis going this way and the minor axis going this way, and that's going to change some things. So let's get the equation up here. So we're going to have x squared, oh, no we're not, because we're not centered at the origin. Forgot already. We're centered at hk, so x minus h squared over b squared plus y minus k squared over a squared equals 1. And a is greater than b. That gives us the elongated ellipse, or the egg-shaped ellipse. Okay, so the center is still at hk. Remember, h always goes with x, k always goes with y. All right, And the major axis, the length of it is still 2a, and the minor 2a, and the minor axis, the length of it is still 2b. Oops. Okay, but our vertices are going to be here and here now, and our foci are going to be here and here. Okay, the foci always have to be inside the ellipse. Okay, and so let's talk about the vertices. And again, it's like a transformation. We've picked up our ellipse and we moved it to a different center. So our vertices are going to be h, comma, k, plus or minus a. The co-vertices they're going to be here and here. So they're going to be h plus or minus b, comma, k. And then the foci, now the foci are going to kind of be on that major axis, right? So it's going to be h, comma, k, plus or minus c. And we still have the relationship that c squared equals a squared minus b squared. And this time our major axis is vertical. Let's see. It's got a vertical major axis. So again, that might help you know where the foci are and the vertices and all of that. Okay. Just one more thing I might mention. There are pictures of this in the book, which their drawings are often better than mine. So if you want to look at those, they're in the book.